So I wanted to spend a little bit of time showcasing how I've used Desmos in the past. So this is for AP Calc, but like hopefully you'll be able to apply it to your own course. But so Desmos has, so you like create this thing, and Desmos has, this is a student view right now. They have these different like check-in pages that you can do. And so this is just an axis that you can put this dot anywhere. I'm feeling positive and energetic right now. You know, I don't know, in high school I get a lot of positive and tired. It's optional for them to say more to me. I did another one, your stress level over the past week. They select one. Explain your thinking. And then this is like one of the many things you could do. You could do, this is a sequencing. So instead of like printing out physical cards that you have to like copy for sets, you know, 10 million times. So like this is the, you know, if you start the first stack here, this is the question, evaluate this definite integral. And then you would say, okay. And then you would, and they snap together, etc. Top of the second stat. So this is like, you can do sequencing, which, you know, in math, like basically you solve problems in certain steps, but there's lots of sequencing in other courses, right? As like means of summaries and, you know, checks for understanding. So that's like how to make a sequencing. This was a vocab sort check-in. So there's just two different vocab sorts. So indefinite integral. So I'm like, oh, I did the example first. It doesn't have to be sequenced. So I did the example before the definition, whatever. Definition and then example. And there's a teacher view. I'll show you the teacher view in a minute, but where you can like see every student's answers like on one page and just like click per student. So it's pretty powerful. So that's an example of a sequence and a sort in Desmos. Yes?
Have you used these like during a like in-person class? Have you used one?
Yeah, I started using Desmos before. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I would say in this moment, there's Desmos and online fatigue. So your call if like this year it feels appropriate. I haven't tried to use it since the beginning of the year when they were like, no, we're done. But I actually think I am going to use Desmos again in this in the next few weeks, because I think, you know, the fatigue is a little bit worn off and they're like able to handle it again. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome in class. I just mostly sit at the front, and then, you know, there's a screen with little dots, and so I can see who's on what problem, so I know exactly who to check in with, like where the dot hasn't moved to the next problem. And like the check-in's cool that I can just, yeah. I think it works really well in class. So that's one type. So that's a couple different, you know, check-ins, sequencing, sort on Desmos. Yes.
On the teacher view, does it like code it in some way so you can tell if like, how do you know if a kid's answer is right? Do you have to like click into the answer, or is it like?
Yeah, you have to click into the, well, Desmos has so many things, but for something like that, you'd have to click into the answer and see, look at it. Mm-hmm.
And you can move on, like.
But it depends. So like that, for that one, you'd have to click into. But I'll show you one where it will be like green, like a check, or it'll give you a check if it's right. So if there is a correct answer, the sequencing and sorts don't do that. But if there's like a correct answer, like 5, then yes, you can get like check. Yeah, I actually can show you that.
Drawings, you can see the summary view too, right? Like as you're scrolling through, you can see like the graphs people are putting on. I remember not having to click in those.
Yeah, the graphs you don't have to click in. Yeah, even the graphing ones, it's cool. It shows you like a composite of every students in the room's graph, just like all in one. So you can like put it up on the board and say like, you know, you sketch this random distance versus time graph. Here's the composite, and that's cool. But I'll show you. So like for this one, if you just click View Dashboard, so you can see the check, X, check. You know, and this person didn't do it. So, okay, but to go back to the student, so this one, this is a little bit above and beyond, but just to showcase the things that can be done. You can program, it's like very programmable. So this is like a custom problem made by me. And let me just see if that's right. I think so. Let's see. Good work, Ms. Shell. So you can like program it to be like, you know, special. And then, but if you, let's say you got it wrong here. So I like, let's say I got it wrong. F prime equals, you know, 6, submit. And then so I wrote a little custom thing, you know, frowny face, wrong answer, Michelle's believes in you, please try again. So you can make, what? Yeah. Yeah. And you can give like hints here. So on the last one, like the custom answer was, did you forget the plus C at the end if you got it wrong? So like if you get it wrong, like there's like a little hint. Yeah, and all of these, so Desmos, okay, so that's what I wanted to show, those. And then, oh, I wanted to show one more example of, let me see. It's just teacher.desmos.com. So if I go to my collections, what I want to show, pre-calc, just for graphing. So here, if you wanted to write is y equals tangent x, and if you think it's like -1, so you can see I'm trying to, this activity is matching, writing an equation that matches the graph. This is definitely just like a math-only application, or science. And then they get to like, and then it matches. And they get to just like play with it, or they're like, oh no, it didn't work, I'm gonna put it in parentheses, you know, whatever. But, so Desmos, in terms of collections, you can make your own, but then Desmos makes a lot of content themselves, and then it's crowdsourced too. So you can see these are like, you know, on area, and you can just click one, and then you assign it, and that's it, you know, like whatever we're answering it. So there's, Desmos makes a lot, and then it's crowdsourced too, so you can like look up, and maybe somebody else has made what you're looking for. And then a lot of times, like if I'm looking for a graphing one, and I don't want to like make the slides and program them all, but I can't find exactly what I want, I use one that already exists as a graphing, and I just like change the equations to the exact thing I want. So there's almost always something that you can use as a template, so you're never gonna have to like start from nothing. Yeah, so that's Desmos going, yeah, we saw the teacher view, so the teacher view is pretty powerful. Next up, where are we at here? Is Pear Deck. Pear Deck is just like Desmos, but typically like non-math teachers use it, but it does exactly the same thing. Here's an example of like a teacher view of something, what are the reasons that Joe's left, and so you can see all the student responses presented at once on Pear Deck. So this was something obviously we all used in remote, well, most of us used if we taught in remote learning, but I've used it in the classroom. It's really sweet. It's just quicker than like walking around, and you tend not to like miss people when it's all presented all at once, you know.